The very hot Rafael Palmeiro batting number 2 and playing at first base. Julio Franco, the second baseman, bats third. Ruben Sierra, second to the MVP last year in the American League. He'll bat number 4 and play out in right field. Harold Baines, the DH, bats number 5. Pete Incaviglia will bat 6th. He'll play in left field. John Russell will catch tonight. He will bat number 7. Steve Buechele, the Stanford Cardinal, will hit number 8 and play at third base with the shortstop, Jeff Hewson. Scott Sanderson, his first time through the American League, having tremendous success in his 12 starts. He has won 7 and lost 2. The 2 no decisions resulted in the A's defeats. His ERA at 3.25 in 63 2/3. He has given up 64 hits, but just 23 earned runs, walking 26 and striking out 33. The defense behind Scott Sanderson, and Carney Lansford is not in the lineup tonight. Mike Gallego will play at third base as Carney will miss his 3rd in a row with a strained tricep of his right arm. Walter Weiss at short, Willie Randolph at second. Doug Jennings gives Mark McGwire the night off at first base. Jamie Quirk will rest Terry Steinbach, and the outfield with Jose Canseco out of the lineup remains the same. Ricky in left, Dave Henderson in center, and Felix Jose, who's playing well, over in right field. Doug Jennings simply resting McGwire and Carney Lansford. In the original report I got from Tony, I spoke to Tony before the ball game. He said Carney's going to be in the lineup tonight. He's good enough to play. You and I can't. Both watched him take batting practice, a very effective batting practice. At the time, he said his elbow was fine, but to start this ball game, he is not in the lineup.
Well, again, we had a chance to talk to him. I said, Carney, how's the bow feeling? He said, feels pretty good. You're not really sure until he gets out and throws a little bit. And maybe Tony just decided not to take a chance. Gallego's doing a good job out there, and give him an extra day's rest.
The home plate umpire is Don Deckinger. At first base, Durwood Merrill. John Shulock at second base, and Tim McClellan will be the umpire at third base. Gary Pettis will step in to lead this ball game off. Pettis hitting at .231 with 2 homers and 16 RBIs his first year here, after playing last year in Detroit and previously with the California Angels. First pitch called strike. Rangers come in at 24 and 33 in 6th place in the American League West, 15 games behind the Athletics. A's at 38 and 17, have won 3 in a row in 5 of their last 6. First time this year they are 21 games over 500. Here's Sanderson's 1-1 to Pettis. Fastball, he fouls back.
You can look at the outfield and you can get a good idea where they're going to keep the ball on Pettis. You like to keep the ball away from him. They got one of the few guys you watch nowadays where they actually move the center fielder over towards left center field. Doesn't like to pull the ball too much. Last time Sanderson pitched against him, he did, but you just got to keep the ball out there.
Pettis blocks the ball. As you see, Dave Henderson a good couple of strides towards left, and he is right on the edge of the shadow. And the sun field very badly out in right for Felix Jose to start this ball game. 2-2 awaiting Gary Pettis. And there's a sharply hit base hit to left field going the other way. They were playing him correctly, but he found a spot. And immediately have to concern yourself with Pettis, as he is second in the American League in stolen bases to Ricky Henderson.
Well, if you get a bunch of pitches away like this, you look for it, you can put a pretty good swing on it, and he does. He just goes to opposite field, a line drive.
Batter is Rafael Palmeiro, who is very hot. His average up to .311. He is 7 for his last 13 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs in his last 3 ball games. Sanderson gives Pettis a look over. Pettis has stolen 19, and recently he's on a surge. He stole 3 bases yesterday in Anaheim. That's the second time this year he has stolen 3, and he's stolen 5 bases the last 3 games.
A lot of guys that hit behind base stealers, they love it because they get a lot of fastballs. Palmeiro, left-handed hitter, likes the fastball like most guys, and it gives him a big hole over at first base. although you can't really tell Pettis just to stay there and give him a hole to shoot through. You got to get something going. And he's got tremendous speed. You can see Scott's worried about him right there. But you can't get too caught up in Pettis over there, or you make a bad pitch, and then you're down 2-0.
No, Palmeiro swinging the bat very well. Pettis has moved up in their batting order. He was hitting number 9, but he has flip-flopped with Jeff Hewson, who is now hitting number 9, their shortstop. Palmeiro and Scott Sanderson were teammates in Chicago with the Cubs. Pettis is moving. Jamie Quirk's throw skips, and Pettis steals second base. His 20th stolen base of the season.
Pettis gets a pretty good jump, not real big, about 3 steps, and Jamie comes up, makes a pretty good throw. It's one hop, but Walt has to take it a little bit behind the bag and bring it back in. Here we're going to see Jamie coming out here, gets rid of it real quick. But again, when you got a guy with speed like that, it's tough to get him.
Jamie Quirk making just his 5th start of the year and his 4th as a catcher. Pettis immediately into scoring position for Palmeiro. Count is 2-0. Hits the ball in the air. Shallow right. Randolph is back, but coming in is Felix Jose, who makes the catch. That's a very big out for Sanderson to get, not only retiring Palmeiro, but preventing Pettis from advancing to third base.
It sure is. Now you can be kind of careful here with Julio Franco. You can pitch around him, try and set up a double play combination. Sierra is an excellent hitter, but it is a big play. You hold the guy at second base, and you give the pitcher a chance to get out of the inning without giving up any runs in the first inning. That's a pretty good way to start.
Franco has seen his average dip down to 293 as he is just 4 for his last 24. For a second baseman, though, he is a tremendous hitter, probably the best hitting second baseman in Major League Baseball. He will take his hacks, and he fouls that pitch back. Last Wednesday in Arlington against Scott Sanderson, he was 0 for 3 before Sanderson was lifted. He wound up going 0 for 5, and that ended an 11-game hitting streak for him, and since that time he's gone into a bit of a tailspin. Strike one pitch. Fastball is just up in the strike zone. Last time Sanderson pitched Wednesday against the Rangers, he threw a lot of those, what Eckersley calls the slop drop, the slow curve, but he's throwing the fastball a little bit more tonight to start.
Well, again, that night he didn't try. He wanted to throw a lot of curveballs, breaking balls, maybe to save his energy because it was so warm down there. What you got to do, you got to get ahead with your fastball and then mix in that curveball. It makes it very tough.
1-1 pitch runs inside. It's 2-1. In that last start, Sanderson went 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned, walked 3 and struck out 2. He was the winning pitcher in the 5-4 win as the A's got ahead 5-0 on Nolan Ryan.
This is a good time for him to throw that slop drop right now. You know, Julio's anxious up there. He wants to hit. You can give him an off-speed breaking ball, and a good chance he'll be out in front of it.
2-1 pitch. It's up. 3 balls and 1 strike.
A lot of times when you get a pitcher out there like Scott, who does have good velocity, but they mix that off-speed pitch, and when you get out there and you feel a little better than normal, you feel like you have that good pop, you tend to go to it a little more often. He's got some good pop right now.
First base is open. Ruben Sierra, a very dangerous hitter, is awaiting. 3 balls and 1 strike. They duck in behind, but no throw. And the pitch is driven to right center and deep. Felix Jose is back on the track. That ball's gone. A home run for Julio Franco the other way. And the Rangers take a 2-0 lead.
That's a situation right there where you went to the well a little bit too often. A lot of fastballs away from everybody. And 3-1 count there, easy to hit. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball right over the middle of the plate on the outside, and he's just looking for it there. Here's a swing, goes right in it, and just smokes it. You can see Felix Jose looking back, and he has no chance on this one.
Julio Franco can't hit a career-high 13 homers last year. That's his 5th this year. He already has 27 RBIs. The Rangers jump out quickly. Ruben Sierra fouls the first pitch off. Gallego gives a hard chase, but the ball is 3 or 4 rows back into the crowd. These 2, 3, 4 hitters in their lineup, Palmeiro, Franco, and Sierra, are nicknamed the Three Amigos, and they are extremely difficult. Then you have the 5th hitter, Harold Baines, and then you go down to Pete Incaviglia, who's a very dangerous home run hitter. This lineup is certainly potent. They are struggling offensively and struggling as a team, but any given night they can bust out big.
Well, they've got a lot of talent on this club. There's no doubt about it. Their pitching is really their weak point, but they got some guys that can score some runs, and you got to be very careful out there. You can't just lay fastball after fastball in there unless you throw like Nolan Ryan. They're going to hit some of them.
Here's the 1-1. Slow curve misses outside. Ruben Sierra comes into tonight's ball game with a 6-game hitting streak. 8 of his last 24. Here's the 2-1. And once again, Sanderson gets himself into a 3-1 situation. And he winds up walking Ruben Sierra.
One of those situations, maybe when he was down in the bullpen, he felt really good, or maybe he didn't feel comfortable with his breaking ball. He didn't have a good breaking ball down the bullpen. And when you're a starting pitcher, a lot of times you go out there for the first 2 innings and you feel for it. You feel to see what you have, because, you know, they say you don't get anybody out in the bullpen. But he's struggling a little bit. He might have to try a little something different here. You're throwing fastball after fastball and you're not throwing strikes, then you got to go to your off-speed pitch. You got to get something over the plate for strikes, or they'll just sit on it. And when you do eventually get that fastball in there, they're going to tattoo it.
And this is a pretty good fastball hitting club. A lot of these guys have tremendous power, including the man at the plate right now, Harold Baines.
The guy that's coming up after him is no slouch either.
Pete Incaviglia is waiting on deck. Baines had a good series against the A's in Texas. Takes a strike. He was 5 for 11 with a couple of home runs off Sanderson in 3 at-bats. He was 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Sierra does not like to steal much. All of last year he stole just 8 bases. Year before that 18. He has the ability, most definitely, to be a 30-30 guy, but he chooses not to beat up his body.
Some guys that have good speed just really don't like to steal a lot. Willie Wilson, he could have stole 100 a year, but he just didn't want to.
Well, he's moving this time, taken for a strike. The throw is not in time. Very close at second base, but John Shulock says that Jamie Quirk's throw is late.
You're gonna look at him, you can count him. He gets about 4 or 5 steps again, and once a runner gets that, he's going to be in there safe. It was a pretty good. He had him right there.
Oh, I think he's out.
It was a good throw. He had him. You see Jamie coming up, a quick release, and he makes a strong throw. Even though it takes 1 hop, it comes right up into his glove, and he had him, no doubt.
And really, Shulock was not in great position to make that call.
I think he had his mind made up that he was going to be safe. He didn't expect the throw to be right there.
It's a ball and 2 strikes on Harold Baines. It runs inside. Let's look at one more angle. This is the one that showed me that he was out, and he's out. You can see the fingers going into the glove. The bag was blocked by the glove, and that was a blown call. Ruben Sierra should have been called out there. 2-2. There's that slow curve outside, and now he's in a bit of a jam with Baines. The Rangers taking advantage of the start to Jamie Quirk. Not that he's a poor catcher, but he has not started much behind the plate. Just his 4th start this year as a catcher, and they've stolen 2 bases off of him at the top of the 1st. 3-2 pitch. Called. Strike 3.
That was a real good fastball right there. You see Jamie setting up on the outside corner, and here it is. Bang. Right in his glove. Maybe a little bit off the plate, but if the catcher's sitting there and it hits a glove, usually it's going to be called a strike. You're saying they're trying to take advantage of Jamie there. I don't think it's so much as they're taking advantage of Jamie as they are of Scott. Yeah. Scott's a little bit slow. He's got the big kick to home plate. And if your guy gets 4 or 5 steps before he releases the ball. I don't care if Johnny Bench is back there, whoever it is, he's going to have to have a bazooka to throw the guy out.
Man, he's not doing a good job of holding him on, and he is an off-speed pitcher, but he's throwing more fastballs tonight. There's a breaking ball, which Incaviglia grounds to Walter Weiss, and Weiss guns him out, and the first inning is done, but Julio Franco hits an opposite field two-run home run off of Scott Sanderson. And Nolan Ryan, who was down the whole way last Wednesday in Arlington by as much as 5-0, tonight gets 2 runs before he even begins his work. Here's the lineup of Oakland A's he will face. Gentleman he knows quite well, Ricky Henderson, his 5,000 strikeout victim, will lead the ball game off. Willie Randolph will bat number 2 and play at second base. Doug Jennings will play first base tonight for Mark McGwire in bat 3. Ron Hassey in the lineup again tonight. He'll DH in bat number 4. Felix Jose out in right field, bats 5th. Dave Henderson will bat number 6 and play in center. Jamie Quirk, the catcher, hitting number 7. Walter Weiss, the shortstop, bats 8th. And Mike Gallego, in his 3rd consecutive start at third base for the A-Link, Carney Lansford will bat number 9. Nolan Ryan's numbers are 4 and 3 with an ERA of 5.11, but he was 4-0 off to one of his best starts ever before suffering the back problems. And since that point, of his last 5 starts, he is 0-3 with an ERA of 8.86. Still, he has 62 strikeouts in 49 1/3. The 62 Ks are 8th in the American League, despite the fact he missed 3 weeks with the back problems.
And if he comes out throwing like he did the last time with the same velocity with a 2-run lead early in the game, this is the kind of guy right here, obviously, who can slam the door on you in a big hurry. Anytime you give him a lead, as long as he doesn't take too long out on the mound, pitch too slowly, and he gives his infield a chance to help him, he'll do well.
And as long as he gets some defense tonight from Pete Incaviglia, who dropped a Henderson fly ball Wednesday. He's in left. Gary Pettis, great defender in center. Ruben Sierra's in right. Steve Buechele, Jeff Houston, Julio Franco, and Rafael Palmeiro around the infield, with John Russell, a long-time Philadelphia Philly, over to the American League this year. He's behind the plate catching Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan is out inspecting the Coliseum mound. He has not pitched here in a couple of years. This is his first appearance this year, obviously, and last year in his only start against the A's. That was the night that he struck out Ricky Henderson for number 5,000 on August the 22nd. .347 average for Ricky is good for 3rd in the American League, behind Ozzie Guillen at .352 and Ken Griffey Jr. at .348. Ryan's first pitch, fastball right down the pipe.
This is what, like his last start, it's kind of hard what to look for if you're Ricky. Last time out, he was throwing the ball 93. Just the first pitch didn't look like it had near the pop it did last game.
Curveball is taken, and he jumps ahead quickly, 2 strikes.
If you have a yellow hammer like that one there, it doesn't matter how hard you throw.
One ball and 2 strikes. Ryan went 5 innings last Wednesday, threw 113 pitches, 71 were strikes. Gave up 4 hits, 2 home runs, 1 to Jose Canseco, a monster 441-foot blast, and Dave Henderson jacked out a changeup. That one's up in the strike zone and hit up in the air very high. Julio Franco, and now it's Jeff Houston, the shortstop.
That one had a little more pop on it. You could tell by the grunt that he had right there. Nolan's the kind of guy, though, you don't know what he's going to throw you as a hitter. You look at this guy and say he's throwing 95 miles an hour, and he might drop a snapdragon on you, curveball. You just can't believe it, so you can't really look for anything up there.
Last pitch, I guess they had timed at 87 miles an hour, which is not Nolan Ryan's speed. But as you were talking with Charlie Huff last week, Nolan, up until that game Wednesday when he was throwing routinely in the 90s, he had been starting off slowly, building towards the 90 plus in the high 80s. and then eventually by the third or fourth picking up his speed.
Well, that's a pretty good fastball right there. It's down the strike zone. A lot of guys do that. The great pitchers, I always believe that for the first 2 innings they were hittable. Then when they get in their groove, if they find it, it's going to be very, very hard to beat them. And Nolan, if he hits a groove, he gets that fastball popping, you know, it's very tough to hit him.
2-0 pitch. Randolph slaps it back. Willie did not play in that ball game against Ryan in Arlington. He is just 2 for his last 14, 5 for his last 27. Did make a big defensive play yesterday to start a double play ball on Bo Jackson, which helped settle down Bob Welch. The A's won that ball game 3-2 and swept Kansas City. 2-1 is fouled back.
That ball that Jackson hit to him on that double play, if he didn't catch it, it probably would have skipped over the wall.
Well, that's the only one he hit, though. It was not a good afternoon for Bo. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. He did make pretty solid contact with that bat over his knee, though, didn't he?
Real good contact.
3-2. The back spasm in Nolan lower back was triggered when he lifts his left leg during his delivery. You see him do a little movement there, trying to loosen it up.
He's definitely not throwing as hard as he was the last time we saw him. He's in the range right now where he's very hittable. Again, these guys are going to look at him. It's when you look for something that's going to be about 94 to 95, and then you get something 86, 87. Sometimes you really can't pull the trigger on it. You foul a lot of pitches off.
3-2 pitch, and Willie is fouling the pitch off to the right side repeatedly.
That's a good indication when guys aren't really throwing that hard. Just hard enough where you can get you can't really get a good piece of it. You can make contact, but when he's on, those pitches right there, they have no chance on.
Yeah, well, the A's struck out 8 times in 5 innings against this guy last week. 3-2 again. That was out of the strike zone. They're going to appeal, and he struck out. Home plate umpire Deckinger says that Randolph is out. He felt he checked the swing, but no.
You're going to see this. This is a straight change right here. Something Nolan's come up with, and Willie looks like he goes around on that right there.
The batter, number 2.
Take a side view look at it. Watch his bat. If his wrist go out in front there, the end of the bat goes out. That's a questionable run right there. It's hard to tell. He really didn't break his wrist. His forearm's bent a little bit, but he really didn't break his wrist.
Number 5,139 for Nolan Ryan. Doug Jennings hurt Nolan Ryan in that ball game Wednesday. That's a big reason why Tony has him in the lineup tonight. He slapped a bases-loaded single off of Ryan.
That's what really hurt him. Just like that pitch right there, Nolan made all these pitches, fastballs away, throwing hard. Then he throws an off-speed curveball in the same spot. A guy looks out there all day long, and then he gets an off-speed pitch. He's going to rack it somewhere.
0-1 goes up. Well, Ryan said it wasn't a bad pitch, but I don't know that kid. Now that I know him, I probably won't throw him another breaking pitch in that situation.
Might have been setting him up. He could throw the breaking ball right here. That's just, no telling what he's going to. Strikes out Willie Randolph on a 3-2 straight change. I know Willie's in the dugout saying, "Can you believe this guy? Challenge somebody."
There's a good pitch there. Well, that's the critics of Nolan Ryan will say, man, you throw 95 miles an hour. Why do you nibble around so much and not, some nights you're content to strike people out with a curve when you can just blow it by him every time.
Well, he's just been blessed with such good stuff that he wants to use it all. And again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I didn't have the God-given talent he did, but if I had a 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball, I wouldn't worry that much about my breaking ball.
1-2 pitch. Well, he strikes out the last 2, retires the side in order, and it's 2-0 Texas.
You know, batting low in the batting order, guys take him for granted. You know, he's not real tall, big guy, and they just want to throw the ball down the middle of the plate trying to overpower him. That's a mistake.
Scott Sanderson throws one over the head of John Russell on a breaking ball. Russell, the Rangers catcher, starting his third consecutive game, as Gino Petralli, the Sacramento native, is missing the last few with a muscle pull in his neck. Oh, and a strike. Russell overall hitting at .267 this year. 1 home run and 1 RBI. And the home run came Saturday in Anaheim, his first American League home run. The Rangers opening up a 10-game homestand, a road trip, I should say, in Anaheim. They won 2 out of 3 against the Angels, which would seem like no big deal. Foul back, but do you realize that they had lost 12 consecutive series before taking 2 out of 3 against California? They got off to a pretty good start, the Rangers, 11-7, but since that point, they have lost 26 of their last 39.
Obviously, that's not good.
That's quite remarkable, really. They've lost 12 series in a row before that one in Anaheim.
Well, they've had some injuries, too. It's unbelievable to me that they've struggled like they have. They have good hitters in the lineup. Again, Sierra's out a little bit and struggling and things like that, but they have a lot of talent here. They should be a lot better off than they are. At least I think they should be.
Two is fouled off on the first base side. Jennings giving chase. Will not get there. It's back in the crowd. Fans a little bundled up tonight. 62 degrees at first pitch.
Ken, watching Scott, I don't think he feels comfortable with his breaking ball. He shook it off a couple times so far. He wants to throw a lot of fastballs away.
Another fastball away, and it's just away as Deckinger does not give him the call, and once again Sanderson goes full on a batter.
See Jamie Quirk turn around a little bit there and say something to him. Say, hey, that's a pretty good pitch. If he puts it there again, you got to call that a strike.
That ball is driven deep to left. Ricky is back, and he'll watch it go out. A line drive shot for John Russell, his second American League home run. And the second one that Sanderson has given up tonight. Rangers take a 3-0 lead.
Another fastball right down the middle of the plate. Again, Scott throws the ball straight over the top, and he doesn't get a lot of movement on it. Here, he's setting up away, but the ball is right down the middle of the plate, and he smokes it. This view right here has got real good extension, and it's on a line, and Ricky just looks up and watches it, knows it's out from the time it leaves his bat.
Seemed like a location problem there. Quirk was setting up outside for the fastball, the same pitch he just missed on. He wanted again, but Sanderson got it too much down the middle.
On that situation, you don't want to be too perfect. You want to catch a little bit more of the plate, but unfortunately he got it right down the middle, and 3-2, a lot of guys can hit those.
Batter now is Steve Buechele. He grounds one left side. Walter Weiss to Doug Jennings, out number 1. That'll bring on their shortstop and number 9 hitter, Jeff Hewson. Hitting at .266. He was obtained in early April, just before the start of the regular year, from the Expos organization for left-hand pitcher Drew Hall. Got off to a good start offensively, but he is struggling a bit of late. 10 for his last 60. His average was at .337, and now it's down to .266. Pitch. And And Sanderson just repeatedly is falling behind.
The thing about it, too, it's okay to fall behind if you can get your off-speed pitch over, but he hasn't gotten it over yet. So now the hitter's looking dead fastball.
2 balls and 1 strike. Off the top of my head, I would say he's thrown 80% fastballs tonight, which is really not what Scott would want to do.
Not at all. I think he's even throwing more fastballs than that. You've got to throw your breaking ball. You got to give him something else to look at, because if you just throw nothing but fastballs and you're not throwing your breaking ball over when you do throw it, they're going to wait for you to throw that fastball.
Two 1 pitch, misses again. 3-1.
And those pitches are pretty close right there, and you're not going to get them called. The umpire, you've been wild. You're not throwing a lot of strikes, and when you do make a good pitch, he's not going to call it for you.
Called strike 2. Sanderson was more of a fastball pitcher when he was younger with the Expos and Cubs. Then he had the back problem, had a disc removed, and he's changed his style. Three-2 pitch. Popped up left side. In comes Ricky. And he makes the play for out number 2. So after giving up the rocket home run off the bat of John Russell, he has retired 2 in a row. Throwing 41 pitches, and that's not a good ratio. Way too many balls. And he's worked just 1 2/3. So he's throwing too many pitches, and not enough of them are in the strike zone, very simply.
Exactly it. The quicker you're off the mound, the less amount of pitches you throw, the better you're going to be off.
And again, he misses with the slow curve, which is the key to success for Sanderson. When he's at his best, Cat, he's mixing in that slow curve and getting it over for strikes.
We've said it a bunch of times. To be effective, he's got to throw a lot of strikes. I mean, you can say that about anybody, but maybe more so in his situation. He's a spot pitcher. He has good velocity every now and then. He's not a smoker out there, and he's got to get that breaking ball over.
1-1 the other way again for Pettis. He is now 2 for 2, twice roping base hits to left field.
That was a hanging breaking ball right there, and even more so now. I know what's going through Scott's mind. I'm not getting that over. You just don't want to throw it. When you throw one up in the strike zone for a ball, and then you hang another one, you even go back to your fastball a little more even.
Rafael Palmeiro flied out to right field his first at bat. 4 for 13 in the series in Texas last weekend. The A's won the first 2, 7-4 and 5-4. The Rangers beat the A's last Thursday in the finale 2-1. Gary Pettis stole second base in the first inning, his 20th stolen base of this year, and his 6th in the last 4 games. He is second only to Ricky Henderson in the American League. Pitch out. Does not go. A's won a ball game at Arlington last Wednesday when Tony called a pitch out with Terry Steinbach and Cecil Espy, a pinch runner in the 9th. That was the final out of the ball game.
That was an amazing call right there. It worked out perfectly.
Runners moving. Pitches up. Quirk's throw is in time. He gets him this time. So twice they stole off of Quirk in the first inning, but this time he recovers and guns down Gary Pettis.
You're going to see Jamie coming up real quick. He gets rid of the ball, and it beats him right to the bag.
And the ball was sailing, and luckily into the runner. Middle of the second, 3-0 Rangers. Nolan has been known throughout his career to be a great strikeout pitcher, but look at him the last year plus. He's actually getting better. Last year he struck out 301. He has led the league 10 times, either the American or the National, whichever one he has been in, and led the last 3 years.
One of the reasons his strikeouts have gone up in the last 2 years. He's throwing that changeup a lot more too. It's another pitch they have to look for, and that's real tough.
2 balls, 1 strike to Ron Hesse. 3-1. Hesse making his 5th consecutive start and 6th and last 7. Is that called a strike? What did I say? It's 2-2. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Disregard whatever I said before, and probably most that I'll say from this point forward, but whatever. It's 2-2. It's assuming anybody was listening to me before.
I was listening. I caught it.
Yeah, sure you were.
Somebody punched me in the arm.
Last year was the 6th time Nolan struck out 300 or more. First time in the American League it's been done since 1977. Well, that's a very nice pitch there to get Ron Hesse. He has struck out the last 3 in a row and retired all 4 he has faced.
This is the old ringworm changeup right here. It just dives down and away, and the hitter, after looking at his fastball, has no chance on that pitch.
Batter is Felix Jose in the number 5 slot of the order, playing at right field for the injured Canseco, doing a fine job of it in a pretty good series against the Royals. 3 for 11 with 3 hits the last 2 ball games. He did not play against Nolan Ryan in Texas last Wednesday. Oh, and a strike to Felix Jose.
The thing about Ryan, he's just learned that changeup. Imagine the guts of the pitching coach to come up there, Nolan Ryan, 5,000 strikeouts. Was, hey, Nolan, I'd like for you, I think you ought to work on this pitch right here. And he gets that one down perfect.
2 balls and a strike. Now the curveball also he throws masterfully, and he keeps himself just in impeccable physical condition, which has allowed him to preserve that 90-plus fastball. He has lost a few miles an hour probably. I mean, no longer throws 98. Now it's just 94, 95.
It's 95.
Well, what do you do?
Yeah, Nolan, he just doesn't throw like he used to. Still gassing it up there. You blink your eyes, it's gone.
2-2 pitch. Right side, Julio Franco. Jose does not strike out, which is an accomplishment. 3 of the first 4 did, but Ryan has not permitted a ball out of the infield yet, and he's retired the first 5. Here's Dave Henderson, who saw a Nolan Ryan changeup and blasted it over the left center field wall in Arlington.
You almost had to know that breaking ball was coming right there. Hindu was sitting there to watch it too. He also fired one over Hindu's head the last game after he hit a home run.
1-0 played by Jeff Hewson. So 2 consecutive 3 up and 3 downs for Ryan. He has sprinkled in 3 strikeouts, and the A's have yet to get the ball out of the infield against the Texas Treasure. We've played 2 full. He leads the A's 3-zip. Scott Sanderson goes to work in his 3rd inning. The first 2 have not gone smoothly, giving up a run in each of the first 2. 2 in the first and 1 in the second, and all 3 scoring on home runs. Rafael Palmeiro waits on one and lines it where Toby Hare has to jump out of the way in the first base box. Nice backhand play there. Palmeiro was batting when Gary Pettis was tossed out trying to steal his second base of the night at second by Jamie Quirk. 3 of the 5 hits against the A's, or the 4 hits in that last ball game against Mike Moore when he homered. Rounds 1 to Doug Jennings. Out number 1.
That was a good slow curve right there. That's what he needs to do. He's got to establish that breaking ball. Again, sometimes when it's not working, it's hard to do, but you have to do it to be successful.
Julio Franco with a 2-run homer his first time up to right center. There's the slow curve taken for a strike. A's held him down in Texas. Franco just 1 for 13, but last year he had 438 against the A's. Julio Franco going 14 for 32. You don't see too many second basemen hitting number 3 in a batting order, but this guy really can swing the bat.
That's for sure. And I'm just watching his hands. When he stands up there, if you can get a good shot of his hands, you don't see too many guys that hold the bat that far down. He's only got 2 fingers in his left hand on the bat. The bottom 2 are below the knob, and I don't see how he could even hold on to it right there.
And he gets put down on the slow curve. That's something John Mayberry with the Blue Jays and later on with the Royals. In fact, he's their hitting coach, the Royals. We saw him this weekend. He did that as a hitter. He held the last pinky, but you never saw a guy holding 2. I think he has both fingers off the knob.
He's got both fingers off. I know Johnny Bench used to do that too. It just seems to me that you'd have better bat control the more fingers you would have on there, but I know a lot of guys like to drop that finger off. Big guys get you a little bit better bat speed. You can throw that head out there, but it just feels like with only 2 fingers on there, breaking ball, you could fire your bat up in the stands and kill somebody.
Yeah, it gives you a lot more whipping motion. But he has an unorthodox stance all the way around with that level bat. Fouled off, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Julio Franco. Two-hand play. Tremendous play. We saw a guy yesterday make a one-hand snag on a home run. Danny Tarnable. Was it Tarnable that blasted it yesterday? One of the guys blasted one out of here on Friday. And the guy just reached up and kept his beverage completely still, didn't spill a drop, made the play.
Of course, the next day he went to the hospital, had an x-ray.
He was cool.
Got a ball, about $4,000 worth of medical work.
That guy was California cool, man. He never even flinched.
Must be an old ball player.
Well,
they don't get hurt. They don't show pain until after the game.
He was a hero in his world that night. He was my hero that night. He made a great play. Two in tight. Wrap to Willie Randolph. He throws out Julio Franco. And Scott Sanderson gets the first 2 outs of the 3rd. We are in Oakland, California, watching the A's and the Rangers. The A's beat this club 8 of 13 times last year and the year before. They won 2 out of 3 in Texas last week, playing the first of 3 tonight. This week we'll have day games tomorrow and Wednesday, both 12:15 first pitches. Ruben Sierra wants time.
See right there, Jamie Quirk wants him to throw a straight change too. When they wiggle their fingers like that, it's usually for a straight change. And again, Scott doesn't feel comfortable with that. He's just starting to get in the groove with his curveball.
That must be a horrible feeling to go out there with less than your best stuff and just try to wiggle your way through it somehow and develop it. But the curveball is working better and better as he goes. Early on, he was getting little success with it, not throwing it for strikes, throwing it very infrequently. But now he's mixing it in every now and then and getting some strikes.
Well, again, that's a key to success. It takes you a few innings sometimes to get your rhythm out there and find out what's working for you. You're smart enough to know that it's going to come around eventually.
There's a good pitch, jumps ahead of ball and 2 strikes.
And that's what that curveball does. You throw the slow curveball, and then you pull it foul. Now you throw a fastball down the middle of the plate. He swings right through it because he's not sure what you're going to throw him. If you're throwing all your curveballs or throwing a lot of fastballs for balls, then he knows you're not going to bring that breaking ball in. But if you mix it in, he just can't sit on one pitch.
Time is called again. Scott, if you're watching him for the first time, he is a very slow worker, to say the least. In fact, when he and Ryan hooked up last week, the ball game went 3 hours and 50 minutes. Ryan, who's also a slow worker, was working even slower than usual as he was battling back from injury. Days were getting all over this guy in the clubhouse after the ball game. Dave Henderson said, "I didn't know we had a rain delay tonight. What were we doing out there so long?" Ruben Sierra flips one down the line and left. Gallego long run, but it'll land.
If I was a turkey in that booth we were in, I would have been well done with the temperature. It was hot.
Yeah, we lost about 30 degrees from last week to this series. We began this ball game at 62. We began the games in Texas every night in the middle 90s. The lowest it would go was 88. Ruben Sierra hits one up for the aforementioned Dave Henderson as he does a little Mark Fidrich, talking the ball into his glove to end the third. 1, 2, 3, third for Scott Sanderson in the middle of the third. He trails 3-0. Jamie Quirk hits one solidly to center, but Gary Pettis hardly has to move. He's a great defender, Pettis. That was the first ball that was really tagged off of Nolan Ryan. First ball that has left the infield. But Nolan has set down the first 7. Now he'll work to Walter Weiss, having a tremendous offensive year. He had 300 in April, 274 in May, and the average is climbing still in June. 2 for 3 yesterday.
That's one of those pitches right there a guy like Nolan Ryan usually gets. Fastballs right at the knees when the catcher's glove doesn't move. They usually call him. But not tonight.
2-0. Nolan, to me, physically looks so
strong and great drive. Not a real big guy, but boy, I'll tell you what, he is some kind of strong.
6'2", 210 pounds. Did not like the release. The pitch was not close to being a strike. Mike Gallego against Nolan Ryan. He had a hit in 2 at-bats. Scored a run. Swinging the bat very well.
The second at-bat against Nolan the other night, he threw nothing but curveballs. It's going right at him here. Dave Henderson was saying, what, afraid of Mike Gallego throwing you nothing but curveballs? I was hoping and praying he'd throw me some curveballs. Again, when he's in the stretch, he bends down there pretty low.
There he goes.
We thought he was trying to stretch out his back, but they'd say that's just the way he goes into looking to get the signs.
That's obviously something he does in the stretch with runners on base that he does not do. Runners moving. Weiss is moving. Pitch inside for a ball. The throw is not in time. Weiss steals second base.
Throw was a little bit high. Walt got it in underneath the tag. Again, a lot of people like to run on Nolan. He's a little slow. Here's the jump. He gets about 2 or 3 steps. Not a real big jump, but the throw was up, and he was able to slide in under it. Here we see the throw. Russell gets up quick, but just a little bit high. Yeah, he's in there clean.
Walter stole 6 bases last year in the 84 he played. He is already 5 for 5 this year as the off-speed pitch sails, and Ryan is not nearly as impeccable in the third that he was in the first 2. He retired the first 7 athletics, the walk to Weiss, the stolen base, and now he's 2-1 on Mike Gallego. The bottom of the order creeping up once again, second straight day. 2-2.
Sometimes you wonder, I wonder how he can pitch. He has such good stuff, you know, like what pitch do you want to throw here? That'd be kind of tough for me. I didn't want to have to really think out there. I just wanted to get the ball and throw it.
Reaching out, he grounds one for Jeff Hewson. Walter Weiss has no shot to go anywhere. He stays at second base. That'll bring up Ricky Henderson. When you were healthy and had that great year, how fast would you pop a fastball at?
92 to 94, 95.
Well, that's good enough, Cat.
It worked.
Oh, man.
It worked. Sometimes it worked.
In '81, it worked well enough to win you the ERA championship and finish second to Raleigh Fingers in the Cy Young voting. Strike, or pardon me, the pitch is down low for a ball. And just unfortunate that you ran into the strike. You would have won 20 that year probably. Huh?
Well, I'd like to think I would have. You never know what would happen. I had probably a pretty good chance. I had missed 10 starts.
1-0 to Ricky. Called strike one. 2 outs, bottom of the third.
But winning the ERA title, I was able to get on a bubblegum card with Nolan Ryan. It's worth about $8 now, but his side's worth $7.50.
Yours is worth the chewing gum, huh?
Chewing gum came on my side of the package and it was stale.
One goes inside, 2-1. Well, the thing about Nolan Ryan, he never won a Cy Young Award in his career. He has won 20 only a few times. Only played in the one World Series in 1969. But, you know, he is the yardstick that everybody uses to describe a pitcher. A young guy that can throw, well, he'll be the next Nolan Ryan.
Which is great. You know, guy throws gas, but he's not a whole lot of games above 500.
No. 2-1 pitch. Here's a good one called strike two. Ryan enters play tonight. 7 away from 300 wins, 293, but 265 losses.
So, I mean, the guy's going to win 300 games with his stuff. Okay, that's routine. That's a given almost. But to lose the 300 games or close to it with that kind of stuff, it's amazing. That's what boggles my mind. I'm talking to Carney about that. How's this guy ever lose these games?
2-2. Ricky fists it. Palmeiro's giving a hard run at it, but it lands foul.
That was a great swing right there by Ricky. That's the old emergency swing right there. You're looking for the fastball and see that curveball coming down in. It's like, whoops. Let's fight it off.
Ricky popped to short his first time up. He is putting a 9-game hitting streak on the line tonight against Nolan Ryan.
Ricky had the exaggerated stance last time, real open against Nolan. Got a little bit, not still opened up a little bit, trying to help him pick up the ball a little bit.
Two-two pitch. Struck him out again. Ricky was 0 for 2 against Nolan last week with a walk and a strikeout. Ryan has now struck out 4. End of 3. He leads 3-0. Harold Bain struck out looking his first at bat, and here he slaps a single the other way.
Harold got a fastball up out over the plate and just went with it.
That is the 5th hit given up by Scott tonight, and 4 of the 5 have gone the other way. 3 slap singles the other way. Julio Franco's home run went the other way. Only guy to pull the ball was John Russell, who pulled it right over the wall and left. He hit a rope for a home run. Pete Incaviglia hits it straight up. Walter Weiss waiting. Incaviglia may not want to buy a newspaper. He has been the subject of many a trade rumor, and the hottest one lately has him going to the Yankees, possibly for some relief pitching. Greg Cadaret, the former Ray, has been mentioned, as the Rangers are really having trouble in the bullpen.
That would probably be a good trade for them. He's struggled down there, and he's not what you call a great outfielder. He works hard at it, but to get a left-hander Cadaret is real tough. He throws the ball extremely well, and that might be a very good trade for him.
John Russell takes a strike. That should be mentioned, his first career home run against the A's. It came at his first career at bat against the A's. Sanderson has thrown 64, and Ryan 46. Sanderson threw 3 1/3. Ryan threw 3. And he has not had good control. Backed up by those numbers. 1-1 to John Russell. Russell was a round 1 pick, number 13 overall in June of '79 of the Phillies organization. Spent 7 years there. Parts of the last 5 in Philadelphia before being sold to Atlanta before last season. And he had an awful year with the Braves. 1-1 breaking ball is in there. Russell began the year in AAA with the Rangers. He went to Oklahoma City, which is the town where he was born. He attended the University of Oklahoma. And they called him up in middle May. So Sanderson's ahead, 1-2. And he goes for the knockout pitch with the slop drop, the slow curve. That's Eckes, the slop drop.
The Eck man. He's got them all. He's got a lot of sayings. I like that. It's a character.
He really should issue his own dictionary. It really would be funny.
Nobody would know what he's talking about.
Well, you have to explain it and
sell a translator to go along with it.
You'd have to hire Mr. Webster to put it in things we understand, but it'd be funny. 2-2 is hit in the air and deep. Right center, Dave Henderson appears to have a bead. Yes, he does. As you often hear, the ball does not carry as well to right field in this ballpark as it does to left field.
Here's Hindu just yelling all the time, having fun out there. That's the way you got to approach it. Like that, a little bit of a hot dog out there, but he makes the play. You got to like that.
You got to put a microphone on him one night. Get him a little wireless mic out there and find out what it is he is saying. Steve Buechele. First pitch, last at bat, he bounced to short. 2 outs now. The curveball is getting progressively better. Scott Sanderson is now finding it. The problem with Scott, Cat, is that he doesn't have long to find it because he is not the kind of guy who will give you more than 6 innings.
Well, I think he can, but Tony doesn't use him that way.
Gallego across the diamond, and he forces out Harold Baines at second base. So after giving up 3 runs the first 2 innings, Scott Sanderson gives up none the next 2, but he still trails Nolan Ryan 3-0. There's 26 dates there at 932,294.
It's amazing. 79, we drew 300,000 for the whole year.
Wow.
It's unbelievable the job they've done here.
Willie Randolph, 1-0 pitch, swings through it. Well, Dave Newhouse this morning in the Oakland Tribune had a nice article. He spoke to Sal Bando, who dubbed this place the Oakland Mausoleum. Hard to believe that those great clubs, they just would not draw people to watch them play here, but the previous administration did not put that as a top priority.
Oh, and you sign on a radio station that has like 14 watts, you know, not too many people hear it. Can't say enough about what the Haas family has done, bringing in Andy Dolich with all the marketing, David Rubenstein, all these people. They've done a great job, and they've done a good job for the community. Great job. They've created fan interest. That's what you have to do.
2-1 pitch. 2-2 on Randolph, leading off the 4th. The A's trailing 3-0. And everywhere you go around baseball, the A's, along with the Dodgers and a few other organizations, are what people are comparing themselves to. We want to be like the A's. Solid foundation from the top all the way to the bottom. A's hoping to draw 3 million this year. 2-2 pitch just outside. Nolan Ryan has walked just 1. He has permitted just 1 base runner. He walked Walter Weiss. Willie Randolph slams that fastball deep to left center, but it is run down by Incaviglia.
Nolan's not real happy with that pitch right there. You know, he put it right down the middle of the plate. Here's a swing fastball right down the middle of the plate. Willie got all of it. Incaviglia went back, made a good running catch.
Incaviglia was referred to as a brontosaurus with a baseball glove by David Bush after dropping that fly ball off Ricky. Now they're going to check the ball here. Hold on here. They are not looking at the ball, and Bobby Valentine out defending. Looking at the baseball to see if he's doing anything to it, or what are they doing here? Bobby Valentine is out.
I thought Nolan was mad about the pitch where it was. Maybe he pulled something in his back right there. They're going out to talk to him. I don't know.
They were examining the ball a little bit. Home plate umpire Don Deckinger, and Valentine immediately came out. The last pitch was a straight fastball, so I have to wonder. Nolan did not appear to physically go to his back, did he?
No, I was just thinking when he was rubbing the ball, but then they didn't really check him, so apparently they were looking at the ball right there.
First pitch outside to Doug Jennings. I have not heard that Nolan is a doctor of the baseball. Has that ever been accused before?
I don't know. As hard as he throws, if he doctors it, it could kill somebody.
It may hit us up here.
Could take off. It looked like a frisbee going into home plate. He might now. I don't know. I don't think so. I've never heard that. But you know, if you get away with it, if you get a cut ball out there, you might as well take it and use it to your advantage.
Doug Jennings with a good hack there, fouls it off, a ball and a strike. Jennings is starting his 4th game since coming up from Tacoma. This is his first at first base. He started twice previously at the DH spot and once in left field for Ricky Henderson. Tonight he gives Mark McGwire a rest. And also you have to figure part of the philosophy was the fact that Mark McGwire was 0 for 3 against Nolan Ryan with 3 strikeouts last week. Although Doug Jennings is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts tonight.
I was just going to say, Mark might have struck out 3 times, but his replacement's not doing a whole well tonight, too. He's just a fastball right here, some gas. And he swings right through that pitch. He was under it a little bit. He was a little surprised that he didn't get it. Nolan's not really throwing hard. Maybe the guys are looking for a little more than they're getting. That can throw you off, because if you're looking for a pitch around 95 and you get one 86, that'll really throw you off. You're way out in front of the ball.
Ron Hassey did not play in the ball game against Nolan. Last Wednesday, his first at-bat tonight, he struck out. Ryan with 5 strikeouts through his first 3 2/3. He struck out 3 in a row. Last 2 outs of the first of the second. Ron Hassey to Gary Pettis, who hardly has to move a muscle to put it away. Greg Papa and Steve McCaddy back with you in Oakland, where the A's are trailing Nolan Ryan 3-0 through 4. And here is Nolan Ryan being called in by home plate umpire Don Deckinger after that fastball that Willie Randolph smoked. And Bobby Valentine immediately comes flying out of the Ranger dugout as Deckinger wants to look at the baseball. And the thing that is somewhat confusing in this is that the last pitch that Ryan threw was one of his fastballs that Willie Randolph hit pretty solidly.
Well, also, the ball never came back into the umpire to look at it. There must have been somebody from the bench yelling and screaming at him right there. A lot of times, again, a baseball will look just like a golf ball. When you hit it square with a golf club, you get some ripples through it on a balata golf ball. Baseball will have the same effect. But he didn't even look at the ball, so maybe somebody from the side screaming at him.
So what you're saying is they weren't checking Ryan for doctoring. It simply... it was a fastball that really Randolph really put a hurt on. Let's see if the ball's okay to stay in play.
They might have been saying take a look at it because they thought the ball has too much movement on it. But if he did find anything, it could be from the bat.
Jeff Houston showing bunt, takes strike 1 from Scott Sanderson. Sanderson struggling early. First 2 innings he gave up 3 runs, but since that point he has retired 6 of the last 7. Harold Baines, a leadoff single to the 4th, but he was left stranded. The slop drop is hit over the head of Walter Weiss for a base hit.
That was a good piece of hitting right there. He just stayed back on the breaking ball, looked for it. When you see, if you're waiting for it, looking for it, you just stay back a little longer. You get it. It's a fairly easy to hit. If it's the slow roller, it's the sharp one that's still tough.
Top of the order, and Gary Pettis, who has 2 of the 6 hits off of Sanderson, both the other way, and 5 of the 6 hits off of Scott have gone the other way. as the Rangers doing a good job of staying back on the off-speed pitch, just serving it where it is pitched. Squaring to bunt, he pops it up. Now this is a good scenario for Bobby Valentine to get expressive. He can do a lot of different things here. Pettis, speed. Jeff Houston, speed. They have been interchangeable all year long as far as the top of the order and the bottom of the order.
Well, it's a kind of a tough situation, though, to put a hit and run on. Maybe a straight steal or whatever, because he doesn't make a lot of contact. He strikes out so much that he could do it, but he's taking a big chance of getting him thrown out at second base.
Pettis struck out 106 times a year ago to lead the Detroit Tigers. Jeff Houston with some big steal totals in the minor leagues. 0-1 pitch, squares to bunt. Takes strike 2. So Scott helps out his cause, getting 2 quick ones on Gary Pettis. Third base coach flashing the signs, Dave Oliver. So you would think the bunt option has been taken away, but if he does bunt, forget I said it. Big swing and a miss. You called it, Cat. Pettis strikes out.
He's not a good hit and run guy. He just has too many holes in his swing. High fastball right here after the slow breaking ball, and he really has no chance on it.
Second strikeout of the evening for Scott Sanderson. Rafael Palmeiro 0 for 2, fly to right, grounded out to Doug Jennings over at first base.
Now, if you want to put something on now this is a good guy to do it. He doesn't strike out very much. Good bat control.
Rafael Palmeiro was a line drive hitter. What he is struggling with is the batting average versus the home run ball. He hit over 300 a couple of years ago, 307 to finish second in the National League when he was a member of the Cubs, but he was often criticized for not hitting more home runs at Wrigley Field. And last year he got off to a good start with this club. It was at 361 in late May to lead the American League in his first year with the Rangers. Then he tried to hit more home runs and his average fell apart.
Well, there's nothing worse than getting a guy that hits a lot of line drives and tell him, gee, you're hitting 340, but I'm not satisfied. I want you to hit me some dingers. And the next thing you know, he's hitting 225, and then they go back. I think you ought to get that old stroke back. Guys that hit 300, home run hitters hit home runs.
Yes.
Guys that hit for average hit for average. You're lucky if you have one that's combined. Let the guys, do what they can do best and leave them alone. You just end up messing up their minds.
1-0 is roped but fouled as he got the bat head out in front of the breaking ball, and it's a ball to strike. Well, the thing is, you need both. I mean, you need guys to get on base, hit for the high average, and you also need guys to hit home runs. Same thing was said about Wade Boggs, and still is said about Wade Boggs. They'd like him to turn the ball more and jack a few more out of Fenway Park, but Wade has stayed with what he knows, and that's hitting 330 every single year.
And 200 base hits. I think I'd leave him alone. Looked like Houston wanted to go there. He is leaning a little bit.
Down as a ball to strike on Palmeiro. It is the top of the 5th inning. Rangers leading 3-0. Houston last year at AAA Indianapolis in the Expos chain stole 30 bases in just 102 ball games.
We're going to get a pitch out right here. You can see they're looking for him to run right now.
Work up on his toes. Pitches up. 2 balls and a strike.
Bad guess. That just shows you how much the game has changed. I thought I saw the full fist down there. They're changing on me. I have to go down and talk to Dunk. I'll be back.
Well, if you could steal it from up here, they'd probably be in a bit of trouble.
I'm watching on the camera here.
He's poised and ready. Houston's going. Pitch out. They called it. Quirk's throw is right there. And they nail him.
Good time. They must have heard me down in the booth, down the locker room, sent something down to Tony. That's a good pitch out right there. Nice and high for Quirk to hold on to it. Here you see Jamie coming out right up by the mask. One step, bang, right down to second base. We had him by a long ways.
He never even made it. He's still not safe. So they stole 2 on Jamie Quirk in the top of the first. Pettis and Ruben Sierra. But then he has thrown out 2. Pettis and now Jeff Hewson. Count is 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs on Palmeiro. Quirk setting up outside, and the pitch goes high and outside, and Sanderson has another base runner to worry about. Palmeiro takes his spot over at first base. Second walk issued by Scott Sanderson along with 2 strikeouts. And now he'll work to the guy that has done the most damage to him, Julio Franco. In his first at bat on a 3-1 pitch, Franco drove one out to right center. Good for 2 RBIs. He has 5 homers and 27 RBIs this year now. Curve just misses. In his second at bat, Franco grounded out to Willie Randolph. Again, missing with a curveball. 2-0. Julio Franco last year, his first with Texas, was an all-star, hitting .316. Highest average by an American League second baseman since Lou Whitaker hit .320 in 1983. Here he drives one deep to left. Ricky will watch it go, and Julio Franco has hit 2 home runs tonight. Both 2-run shots. And the Rangers lead 5-0. And in the spirit of the bleachers, they throw it back.
2-0 count. He's looking for a fastball right down the middle of the plate. And when he got it, he knew what to do with it. It's right there. He's looking to pull this ball all the way, fastball, and he got it. Made no mistake. That's a good hitter. Look at the fans up there. Good catch. I don't want it.
Julio Franco drives one. (5-0). Third home run given up by Sanderson. Now he works to Ruben Sierra. Sanderson with a 3 tonight has now given up 8 home runs this year. Something that he is vulnerable with. He gave up 16 a year ago in under 150 innings of work. Ball is fouled off third base side. Ball and a strike on Ruben Sierra. That is the first multi-homer game for Julio Franco. He now has 6 home runs. Mike Norris will loosen in the Athletic bullpen. Mike is normally the choice when Tony needs a long reliever, which has not been often. Sierra backs out. Norris has not pitched since the Kansas City series at Kansas City on June the 2nd, which was Saturday. There's one smoked up the middle. A base hit for Ruben Sierra. Takes the turn, but Dave Henderson throws in. Now Scott Sanderson was in the process of righting himself after a rough start. He had a very effective third and fourth. Thanks to a toss out of Jeff Hewson. He had the first 2 outs of the 5th, nobody on base, but then he walked Palmeiro and he fell behind Franco again. Franco's first home run, a 3-1 pitch, that one a 2-0 pitch. And now he's down 5-0 and working to Harold Baines.
thing about it too is he's struggling a little bit, and takes Norris a little bit longer to get loose down the bullpen, and he's got a batter or two to face yet. You want to stay in this game, you want to get this guy out right here.
1-0 pitch to Baines, called strike. He struck out looking Harold Baines his first at bat, singled the other way in the fourth. I think either way, Sanderson may be leaving after this inning.
It's a good possibility. He's struggling a little bit, and it's a chance to give Norris some innings.
Ball is roped foul, hit hard, bending back into the seats. Ball and 2 strikes on Harold Baines, who Tony La Russa before the ball game was chatting with around the cage. They spent a long time together. Last 9.5 years, Baines was a White Sox before being dealt in late July. 4-time All-Star the last 5. And a very popular player at Comiskey Park. Since being obtained by Texas, his run production has fallen off dramatically. He has 24 RBIs coming into the ball game tonight. Rangers playing their 58th game. Two and 2 on Baines with Ruben Sierra over at first base. Sierra did steal a base earlier in the game. There's one. The slop drop gets in there and bites hard to get Baines. Baines has struck out looking twice in the ball game, but Franco goes deep again. 2 more runs score, and it's now 5-0 in the middle of the 5th. Nolan Ryan, who throughout his career has tossed 5 no-hitters, has given up 0 hits through the first 4 innings of work. Felix Jose will lead it off. The bottom of the 5th, and Jose, first ball swinging, fouls it off. Jose grounded out to the hero so far of the ball game, along with Ryan, Julio Franco at second base. 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2. We have periodically peeked down behind the plate to check out the jugs gun reading of the scouts down there, and they have read, I think 95 has been the highest on Ryan with the fastball. We'll try and keep you abreast of that. That one was pretty close. Another K for the all-time leader. Nolan Ryan now has 6 strikeouts tonight.
We're just talking about some high-octane, good gas fastball right down the middle, and he can't catch up to it.
Dave Henderson grounded to short his first at bat. Ryan has not beaten the Athletics since 1979. Throughout his career, he is only 10 for 15, losing his last 3 appearances. They were speculating in the papers after his last start in Dallas. Is Ryan completely back? Well, he looks pretty good tonight. I think if he's not completely back, I don't want to see him when he is.
A 3/4 Ryan is sometimes a lot better than 100% other guys.
Well, that's what he said in coming back. He said, you know, I know I'm not fully recovered. I expect it to be there, talking about the pain the rest of the year, but it's a matter of coping with it and counting on it not getting any worse, and I'm prepared to do that. Henderson just a piece on the 0-2. And that's certainly a credit to this man at age 43, pitching for a ball club that is 15 games behind the Athletics, and looking at a contract next year if he decides to come back and play at age 44 that will pay him $3.3 million to risk further injury in the back and maybe not getting that huge payday. It's a pretty good compliment. Henderson just a piece again.
That's why this guy's a stud. I'm telling you, you walk out there and you watch him, and he's out there all the time. He's a great competitor. Going out there and pitching with pain is very tough to do. And look at him. He's 95's only the highest he's hit so far. It just tells you something about his makeup.
0-2 again to Hindu, and he strikes him out. Well, now he's cooking. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 and 7 tonight.
Just power against power right here. Fastball down the middle of the plate. Looks like they're swinging through the pitch more times than he's blown it by him. But he's getting them out.
Jamie Quirk is 0 for 2 against the Rangers. What do you mean he's swinging through the pitch?
He's just swinging right through it. You're not making contact. You're right on the pitch. You're just missing it. You just swing right through it, and you can't believe it.
So you haven't timed out. You're just missing the ball.
You're just missing the ball. Get down it. Technically, I don't think you can swing through it, but that they have good swings. They're just not making contact.
Ball and a strike on Jamie Quirk. Jamie made solid contact. He roped one to center, but Gary Pettis was there to make the play easily, right where he was standing. One pitch. Well, he is 1 strike away from striking out the side. And the crowd here is actual. They're doing the wave. They're not up getting excited about Ryan's performance, although you certainly could. He strikes out the side and leads 5-0 through 5. Scott Sanderson will begin to work in the top of the 6th with Michael Norris still throwing. Sanderson will pitch to Pete Incaviglia, the Ranger left fielder. Curveball misses.
Made the statement last inning that might be Scott's last appearance and give Norris some innings. They should turn that around. You want to, if Norris comes in, it's to stop them right away, because Nolan 5-0 lead. You know, if they can get to the bullpen, they still have a chance. But they're not giving up on this game. Makes it sound like I think they're giving up, but they're not. If they wanted Norris to get some innings, then he'd be out there right now.
1-0 pitch. Pops it with a fastball. Pete Incaviglia is 0 for 2. Rounding to short and popping out to shortstop Walter Weiss. He leads the ball club in home runs with 10, 31 RBIs. Hits one right side, and Felix Jose puts it away. Incaviglia is 0 for 3 tonight. And the batter is John Russell, who has hit one of the 3 home runs off of Scott Sanderson. Russell drove one out on a line to left his first time up. Then he flied out to right in the 4th. His home run came leading off the 2nd. That gave the Rangers a 3-0 lead. Walter Weiss across the diamond. Makes that play so well, Walter Weiss, going off balance, charging. And we'll check out his footwork as he makes the 2nd out.
It just makes it look routine. It's not a routine play. He just gets over there and flips it across the diamond. It's the kind of guy you don't realize. You know he's good, but you don't realize how good he is because he makes a lot of plays look routine.
Steve Buechele, 0 for 2. Bouncing to short, bouncing to 3rd. We talked about the adversity that Texas has had this year with injuries. Jeff Russell, their closer, guy who led the American League in saves last year with 38, is out. Arthroscopic surgery on his right elbow. This guy, Steve Buechele, was out for a long period of time. He missed 29 games after breaking a right wrist when he was hit by a pitch from Eric Plunk. And the Rangers were 12-17 without Buechele at third base. And he has really not performed well since coming back. He's hitting under 200 at 198 coming into this at-bat. He is now 4 for his last 23 and make it 4 for his last 24 on the check swing. He is retired. Just when we're set to hang out, Scott Sanderson, he battles back. He goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th. He trails Nolan Ryan 5-0. Nolan Ryan to Walter Weiss. Walter Weiss is the only athletic to reach base tonight. Nolan Ryan threw 5. He drew a 1-out walk in the 3rd, stole a base, but was left stranded. And now he's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Ryan has struck out 8 tonight, all swinging, bringing his total to 5,146. He has left Steve Carlton in the dust. He was at 41-36 Carlton when he retired. Well, they used to go back and forth daily, and one guy would top the other, but he is pulling away. 1-2 pitch. And there's another, number 9 tonight. 5,147.
Breaking ball right here. Walton sees fastball and goes, tries to hold up. Get the side view on it. He looks like he went around. Walt's not real happy right there. Very close, but was called out.
The last 4 athletics to come up, and 5 of the last 6 have struck out against Nolan Ryan. Mike Gallego takes it in tight. Well, Nolan Ryan has done some incredible things in his brilliant career. It is very early, but he may be on to some more greatness tonight. You know about the 5 no-hitters he has thrown, the most in the history of the majors. He has also thrown 12 one-hitters. In fact, he threw one early this year against the Chicago White Sox. A ball game he struck out 16. And the one hit off the bat of Ron Kittle should have been caught. Ball and 2 strikes on Gallego. Rafael Palmeiro admitted that he should have caught the ball. He went back on a little blooper over his head and he stumbled, couldn't get to it. One-two pitch.
All Nolan's curveballs have been up in the, unless they're right in the dirt, they've been up in the strike zone. That could be trouble for him.
2-2 gets away as he overthrows the fastball. Well, that ball just really took off there. It had a lot of velocity on it.
As a catcher, you call a fastball, and you know it might be up in the strike zone, and then you still can't draw leather on it. It's some rushing up some gas up there.
Mike Gallego did make contact his first at bat. He grounded out to short. Three-two pitch. He walks him. Mike Gallego is the A's second base runner of the ball game. Through 5 1/3. Both on via walks. And here's Ricky, who was 0 for 2 tonight. He popped to short and he struck out. He popped that one a little bit. That was middle 90s.
He had some paint on it, too, right on the corner. On deck circle, you see the guy in front of you gets 2 balls up over his head. And you go up there and bang, 93 right on the black.
The ball has gotten away in the Athletics bullpen where Norris is loosening Incaviglia. Throws it in the crowd. He's a Bay Area native of sorts, growing up in Pebble Beach. He may want to run for office later on, getting a few votes. Strike one pitch. The ball and a strike.
See Palmeiro really coming off the bag hard. He's trying to block anything, get a good jump. He's holding the base runner on. He wants to get over and cover as much ground as he can and try and save it. Anything hit on the infield. He was way over to the right of that cut right there. It was kind of unusual for a first baseman. You see a no-no going on out there. They want to do everything they can. They don't want to be the guy that cost him the no-hitter.
Here's one driven in the air to center, but Gary Pettis runs it down. Ball was hit, but it hung up for Pettis. One of the fastest center fielders in all of baseball. Anytime a ball is hit solidly tonight, you get yourself excited, but this ball really was Pettis's the whole way.
Yeah, it was. Ricky got it off the end of the bat right there, and Pettis, being as fast as he is, he almost boxed it up right there. He's trying to get to it so quick. Ball goes up in the outfield. That guy's got a good chance of catching it.
Willie Randolph struck out. Hit one hard, but Incaviglia ran it down on a 3-2 his last at bat. The Athletics have not even come close to a base hit. No one has had to make a difficult play behind Nolan Ryan. Strike. Well, we are in the bottom of the 6th there in Oakland. Rangers 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 of which home runs, 2 by Julio Franco, both 2-run blows, 1 by John Russell. The A's have nothing on nothing. Only 2 walks is all Sir Nolan has given up so far. And here he goes again, jumping ahead 2 strikes. He has struck out 9. Now, we spoke before the ball game, Kat, that Nolan Ryan is very vulnerable some nights. You know, you lose 265, you have your down nights. But when he has it going, he is completely untouchable.
In control. He can put the pitch just about where he wants to, throwing that hard and that kind of off-speed stuff. Very tough to hit.
0-2 is hit in the air, and Ruben Sierra gets it. Nolan Ryan is on his way through 6. No hits. 5-0 Rangers. Scott Sanderson's night is done. He goes 6-fold and now gives way to Michael Norris. Norris 1-0 with an ERA 3.57, making his 10th appearance, giving up 20 hits in a 17 2/3. He has not pitched since over a week ago. 10 days ago in Kansas City. First pitch to Houston runs in tight. He came in for Mike Moore, who was knocked out early by the Royals. Moore went just 3 1/3, and Norris wound up going 4 2/3 and pitched pretty well. Gave up 5 hits, just 1 run. It was earned. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 3 in Kansas City, a game the A's would lose 10-4. Ball and a strike to Houston. 2 balls and a strike.
A guy like Mike, when it's been that long off between appearances, he likes to throw a lot of off-speed stuff, and it's hard to control it. You tend to overthrow it or just be wild.
3-1. So Scott Sanderson's 3-game winning streak will, I don't want to say it will end, but it is on its way to ending unless the A's can get productive against Nolan Ryan. They have 9 more outs to work with, but they have not touched him yet. Houston a little bit fooled there, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Norris's 0-1 pitch. Pettis misses it.
Mike can be exceptionally tough on this guy with that screwball off-speed stuff. He gets that screwball over, or I should say he doesn't get it over. It looks like a strike, and then it breaks down and away from him. Very tough to hit.
2-strike fastball sails up.
It's the pitch you want to use just to set it up right there.
Two balls and 2 strikes. That last outing for Norris, the 4 2/3, and Casey, the longest he has pitched this season, as he is evolving into the long relief role, which is certainly a difficult role and difficult to command your pitches, especially when you have one like the screwball.
Yeah, it is. It's a very tough role to get in there. Even if you just throw straight fastballs all the time, it's tough to do. You got to get out there and get some rhythm. If you don't get in the games, you got to work real hard on the side.
Three, 2, called strike. So Gary Pettis has to think about that one. His second strikeout of the night. Pettis's. He is going quietly, but rather slowly.
This pitch looked down in the strike zone from up here. Here it is. He's reaching back, grabbing it. Where he caught it, though, it's hard to tell. It's where the ball goes over the plate. We should get a pretty good view right here. That's a strike all the way. Real good pitch.
That ball was really diving as it went, so where it was caught was low, but as you're saying, where it crossed the plate was a strike.
It's not where you catch it. It's where it crosses the plate.
Rafael Palmeiro, who was a good contact hitter, and Houston has the good speed. If Bobby Valentine should try and tack on another here. 1-0 pitch, swings through it. Jamie Quirk all night long. First for Sanderson, now for Norris, has been setting up on the outside. That is the strategy against this ball club in general. Pitch them away.
You're not going to try and overpower them. You got to set them up.
Now he went inside, and the pitch is 2 inside. It's 2-1.
That's the way to do it. You plan on getting these guys out of the way. You got to come inside every once in a while. But the key to being effective that way, pitching away, is by throwing strikes. If you don't throw strikes and you keep the ball away, they'll start looking out over the plate, and then they'll crush you.
2-1 pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Palmeiro is 0 for 2, fly to right, grounded to first, and walked and scored. Actually, he jogged around after Julio Franco blasted one out to left field. Oh, strike 2.
Nice screwball right there. It's 1-3-1 count. All you have to do is get that screwball anywhere over the plate. Even if they're, they're probably looking for a fastball. If it's a screwball up in the strike zone, they really won't make good contact.
These guys have never seen Mike Norris pitch. They're getting a taste of his screwball. 3-2, runner moving. Norris, he goes to second, and there's no play there. They still get Palmeiro at first base. But Mike Norris made a mistake. Houston was on the bag as he threw it. He had no chance to get him. Walter Weiss had to make a quick recovery to get Palmeiro.
Here's a pitch, a screwball. One hopper right back to him. He looks right at second base. He should know he doesn't have a chance, but still, it's not that. You take a shot at it because you know the guy doesn't have great speed. I don't think he realizes how quick that Houston got off there. There he goes. It's a hit and run. He's looking back all the way and just had no idea.
Not close at second. He's safe. But they do retire Palmeiro. Another RBI shot for the offensive hero of the evening, Julio Franco, with a couple of 2-run home runs. Right from Mike Gallego. And he chucks him out. And now we'll get to watch the defensive hero of the ball game, Nolan Ryan, who has given the A's nothing through 6 full. It'll be Jennings, Hasse, and Jose in 5-0. As the fans are stretching here at the Oakland Coliseum, they are wondering, are we going to watch possibly history tonight? Will Nolan Ryan throw number 6 And we have a timely did you know question tonight. You know he's thrown 5, the most in the history of the major leagues. But did you know that he has taken 5 other no-hit games into the 9th only to see them slip away? And twice he did it last year, August the 10th against Detroit, Dave Bergman, a 1-out single. And April 23rd of last year, Nelson Liriano of the Blue Jays, a 1-out triple. Dick Allen, Reggie Jackson, and Mike Schmidt have also broken up Ryan no-nos in the 9th. It is early to start thinking about that because he still has a long way to go. He needs 9 more outs. But the A's have not even come close tonight to getting a hit against him through the first 6. Doug Jennings has struck out twice. The A's have struck out 9 times. First pitch called strike. Ryan has thrown 85 pitches, including that one he just threw. 56 strikes, 29 balls. Make it 57 strikes. He is in a zone. He is locked in it, and it's even more incredible when you take into account this is only his 2nd start since missing 3 weeks with those lower back spasms.
Said he won't throw Jennings a curveball away. He's sticking to it. Cost him the game last time down in Texas, throwing that breaking ball away to him after a bunch of fastballs there. I think he probably throw him more of a straight change than anything else, unless he gasses him.
1-2 pitch, just missed. No pain in the back for Nolan Ryan, but he has been just a general pain to the Athletics tonight. Doug Jennings, 2-2 pitch to him, down low, 3-2.
That's the thing that's amazing about Nolan. He's got such a great fastball. He's got him 2-2. He's been pitching him away all night. He's perfectly set up for some gas inside, a fastball inside, but no, he wants to throw him the straight change and away.
Now he's working with a new catcher tonight, John Russell, who was catching his first Nolan Ryan game. How much will he be a factor? Will Nolan just throw his stuff?
Well, Nolan's going to throw his stuff.
Ball is hit in the air, but don't worry about it. Ruben Sierra puts it away.
Well, if you're going to throw him a 2-2 changeup, go ahead and throw a 3-2 changeup.
Ron Hassey's 0 for 2. Striking out, fly to center. Ryan has retired 19 of the first 21 he has faced. Only 2 base runners on with walks. Walter Weiss with 1 out in the 3rd. Mike Gallego with 1 out in the 5th. Weiss got to 2nd. That's as far as the A's have gone. In addition to the 5 no-hitters, we mentioned before that he has thrown 12 one-hitters, tying Bob Feller's all-time mark. Just outside, and he and Bob Feller don't get along too well. In fact, Nolan claims that Feller has been really critical of his abilities, saying basically what we said before, that Nolan is not much over 500. One is swung through, and it's 1-2. Ryan claims, Cat, that goes back to 1974 when the Angels staged a promotion in which they were checking to see if he could break Feller's all-time speed record. At the time, it was 98.6, and some scientists from Rockwell International set up equipment at Anaheim Stadium, and Ryan went 100.9, and Feller didn't like it, and that's the reason that Ryan says that Feller's been hard on him.
Well, again, you're talking about somebody that played baseball a long time ago, and naturally and I'm not trying to say this is a knock, but they played a different brand of baseball. They always played better baseball than the guys that played after him. you run that motorcycle like he did it for the test for Feller.
Right.
He says he only threw 3 pitches and then he was throwing 110 miles an hour. I don't know about that.
How do you know? 2-2 pitch, just outside.
If you want to be critical of anything about Nolan, it's that he's lost almost 300 games. Okay, but he's going to win 300. How can you get on the guy, though? He's just got a tremendous amount of talent. If you pitch as long as he has, you're going to lose a lot of games, too. I guess you can look at it that way.
Struck him out. 10 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan.
Fastball up in the strike zone. Just unable to come up with it. You can look at it. This is nothing but power right here. Look at that leg kick. And he just follows through. Great arm action right there. Great mechanics.
Here's Felix Jose, and the crowd is coming to life here. They are well aware that the Ryan Express is cranking tonight. Through 6 2/3, he has been flawless, with the exception of the 2 walks.
He's got the changeup working. That's what I think is making him more effective than just his fastball. He's not throwing exceptionally hard, but he's getting that changeup over. Then hitting spots with his fastball. You just can't sit on any one pitch.
That's what he says. When I'm throwing the change and the curve for strikes, good luck. Two balls and 1 strike to Felix Jose. Well, this crowd has almost turned, and it appears they're rooting for Nolan Ryan. They came in here looking for the A's to maul them, but they figure, well, 5-0. Let's watch a slice of history.
I'm sure they'd like to see the no-no, but if he gives up a hit, I think it'll change right back that they want the A's to score 6.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. He goes full again. Jose 0 for 2 tonight, grounding out, striking out, and I should forget to say the 0 for, because everybody's 0 for. That's why we're all on the edge of our seats. That's the whole point. Well, that leg kick tonight, he is really driving through. That leg hit him right in the forehead, it looked like that time. He's really bringing it up and driving through.
He's just got real good mechanics. That's why he's never really had a serious arm injury or anything like that. He is so smooth out there. Everything's compact and just all heading towards home plate.
There you go, Felix Jose. He strikes out the last 2. He has struck out 11. And Nolan Ryan is now 6 outs away from his 6th no-hitter. He leads 5-0 through 7. Nolan Ryan is doing his thing. The question is, will he do it all the way through? Through 7, he is on his way to number 6. No hitters. Sandy Koufax through 4. Nolan has 5. He is comfortably in front, 5-0. Ruben Sierra against Michael Norris. Ruben Sierra is 0 for 1, walking twice. He flied to center. Takes a strike. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Sierra was rather outspoken last year when he finished second to Robin Yount of the MVP balloting, saying they stole it from me, and it will make me work harder to get it because I deserved it.
I think that's so outspoken.
Well, most guys, when they finish second, would say, He was very deserving, Robin Yount, future Hall of Famer, but Sierra went right at him. Ball is wrapped foul. Picked up by Toby Harrah, former Ranger infielder.
Few guys spell his name either way. It says the same thing.
Great distinction. Harrah.
He's probably in better shape now than when he was playing. He was in pretty good shape then.
3-2 to Ruben Sierra. Well, Mike Norris looking good himself. Norris has struck out 2.
It's called a screwball. Here it comes. Look at the break, down and away, way out in front. Tough to hit. Put a bunch of left-handers in the lineup. That's the way a lot of people used to think they could be successful against my left-handers. But that was right to his power. All that screwball down the way. That's tough to hit.
It's called the screwball because very often you are when facing it. Here's one wrap for Willie Randolph. And Nolan Ryan's not going to have a lot of time to rest here. Looking forward to the bottom of the 8th inning. A's are going to send up scheduled 6, 7, and 8. Dave Henderson, Jamie Quirk, Walter Weiss. But Tony does have a good selection of pinch hitters to go to. Mark McGuire, Terry Steinbach, Carney Lansford, Ken Phelps, who knows a thing or two about breaking these things up. Just ask Brian Holman.
One thing I can almost guarantee you, if Kenny Phelps comes up, he probably won't be getting the first pitch fastball.
Bends in for a strike. Mike Norris doing his job. Pete Incaviglia is 0 for 3. First 3 at-bats against Scott Sanderson. Solid base hit for Incaviglia. He has now hit safely in 6 in a row. His longest streak of this year, Incaviglia.
The batter, catcher John Russell.
That'll bring on their catcher tonight, John Russell. The third catcher they have on their roster behind Gino Petralli, who's out with a bad neck, and Mike Stanley, who's not hitting at all. Ball dives down nicely. Ball is blocked, gets away from Quirk, and scampering down to second base is Incaviglia.
Tough pitch for Jamie to handle right there. Did a pretty good job. Kept it out in front of him. Screwball down to dirt. Very hard to dock, especially when it's going that quick. Made a better play than I thought he made.
No word yet, but you have to assume that's a wild pitch. It is now confirmed. We have confirmation. That is a wild pitch. Just outside, John Russell blasted a home run tonight. That's been the Texas offensive story. 3 home runs, accounting for all 5 of their runs. 2 hit by Julio Franco, both 2-run blows. 1 of the first, 1 of the 5th. In between, Russell in a line shot over the left field wall, leading off the second, all off of Scott Sanderson. And Mike Norris goes full now on Russell. 3-2, 2 outs, top of the 8th.
Some real close pitches right there. I know Mike's not real happy about that.
Ball is fouled off. hot smash takes a kick into the crowd. A's and Rangers go again tomorrow at 12:15. Struggling Mike Moore, 4-6, 4.46 ERA against Bobby Witt, who was also very effective against the A's in Arlington last Thursday, as Mike Norris does walk John Russell. Norris's second walk, along with 2 strikeouts since coming on.
Mike Norris, one of the greatest stories, funny things that happen to a pitcher when they're out there. Mike used to get real hyper when Billy was here, and Art come running out there one time, and Mike jumped on him and said, "Art, what am I doing wrong?" Art said, "Well, I don't know, but you're making Billy mad."
Don't do it anymore. You're referring to Art Fowler, the former A's pitching coach and one of Martin's lifelong coaches. He brought him wherever he was.
Except the last couple times to New York.
Yeah.
George wouldn't let him come there anymore.
0-1 to Steve Buechele is grounded foul for Mike Gallego at third base. Carney Lansford not starting the ball game tonight with a strained tricep of the right arm, but he could potentially be available to use that stick of wood to go up and maybe break up a no-no.
Be real good. Carney likes an off-speed pitch. Nolan's throwing a lot of them, so that's would be a natural choice right there.
0-2 runs inside. Buechele. He got down nicely. How low can you go?
There's your 9:30 wake-up call right there.
He's got to do the Bo Jackson and pop up from his back quickly to his feet. The fans are doing the wave here, which I guess is helping to keep them warm. Scoreboard trying to stop it, but it gets by the scoreboard out from the right field bleachers to the left field bleachers. Buechele hits one hard, but it's bending foul.
Bill King might have had something to do with the no wave sign, knowing how much he loves it, him and Lon Simmons.
Buechele goes back in.
Mike must be having a problem with his curveball right here, because usually he has a real good curveball, and he has yet to show it. He's been throwing a lot of screwballs, but normally he has a real good curveball too, and he has not broken it out yet.
Buechele is 0 for 3 tonight, grounding out all 3 times. And now he strikes out the 4th time on a Mike Norris screwball. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Scheduled Henderson, Quirk, and Weiss trying to break up Nolan's number 6. 33,436 in the Coliseum tonight. Wondering, have they chosen the night to come down and watch the A's battle Nolan Ryan? Through 7 full, Ryan is retired 21 of the 23 he has faced. Only 2 walks, 1 to Weiss, 1 to Gallego. He has struck out 11 Athletics. That is the, are you ready for this? The 201st time he has struck out 10 or more. 201 times.
Is that all?
Oh, man. And he goes to work against Dave Henderson first. 6 outs away. Henderson, in his 2 at-bats, bounced to short, struck out. And coming out on deck is Carney Lansford to hit for Jamie Quirk. So Tony does not want the A's to be no hit. You can bet on that. First pitch, right through it. Tony was talking about Brian Holman and pitching the perfect game here, and he said, you know, we weren't going to win that ball game, but I do not care. I do not want anything that superb done to the Oakland Athletics.
I don't think anybody wants to be no hit, but sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Ricky Henderson's pretty good at breaking up no-hitters. I played with him when he broke up 2 in the 9th inning within a week.
Really?
Steve Renko with the Angels, and then Louis Tiant.
El Tiante. Now Ricky is scheduled to come to bat one more time. He would be the second out of the 9th. Here's the 0-2. Nolan overthrew that one a little bit. He tried to throw that right through John Russell. Carney Lansford.
I mean, that's a great idea to pinch hit Carney right there, too, because you know if Phelps comes up, he's going to get a lot of changeups. Carney likes the off-speed pitch. It's coming right into him, and he can handle the bat well, as we all know.
I think if something's gone, another ball has gotten loose in the Athletic bullpen where Gene Nelson is warming. Art Kushner, who caught Nolan Ryan's second no-hitter. That was July of '73. Nolan's first 2 were in '73. They had 1 in '74, 1 in '75, all with California. His 5th and record breaker, September 26th of '81, when he no-hit the Dodgers, ironically by a 5-0 score. Our score tonight is 5-0. Henderson stays alive.
It's always fun to listen to Art talk about the no-hitter. When he used to catch Nolan, he does his own sound effects. Sounds like Universal Studios.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Dave Henderson.
It's hard to sit here and even guess what he's going to throw. The way he's done it so far tonight, and you probably throw changeup. He's done it a couple times already. You probably just want to smoke him away too, though.
Well, when you can go at 95, go at 95. Ryan has struck out 12 tonight. He is 5 away.
That's some cheese right there. Look at that leg kick follow through. Just a good old-fashioned hardball, as they call it.
Well, here comes one of Tony's bullets. He only has a couple in the gun, and this is one to use. Carney Lansford, who has missed the last 3 with a bad right tricep muscle. Going to step in there. The guy who finished 2nd in the American League last year in hitting. He's going to try his hacks, trying to break it up.
Thing about it, Nolan knows he's an off-speed. Not that he's just an off-speed hitter, but he likes the off-speed pitch. He's out there thinking. He's not giving in to Carney at all.
Carney was 0 for 3 against Ryan last Wednesday in Arlington. He comes in struggling. Carney's in the midst of a 3 for 28 string. They ask you to come off the bench cold and swing at the express. He's digging in tight. Carney wants it.
A good chance he's going to get it, too.
He's got a lot of pride, Carney Lansford. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out on 3. That one went 93 miles per hour.
Don't leave the TV.
No.
He has just turned it up a notch right here, these last 2 guys.
Yes.
Don't
he has struck
go away.
out 4 in a row, Cat. He has struck out 13 tonight. Walter Weiss, one of only 2 ways to get on base. He walked.
That's not just striking him out. That's blowing him away.
John Russell just puts the glove where he wants it to go, and Nolan Ryan throws one of the middle 90s right at it.
Walt's been looking for that. He's been hitting that pitch all year long, just shooting it over there at third base. But then again, we're shooting it off somebody else.
Well, the entire baseball world is tuned in to this right now. Nolan Ryan is 4 outs away. And he's just 1 strike away from this out. 0-2 pitch. Walter Weiss hits it, an accomplishment in itself. But Steve Buechele in foul ground. And Nolan Ryan is now 3 away. Mike Gallego is scheduled to lead off the 9th. And then the top of the order, Ricky Henderson and Willie Randolph. Nelson, the A's 3rd pitcher of the night. Jeff Houston fouls it off, a ball and a strike to him. Jay Nelson has thrown very well this year, 1-2 with an ERA of 1.35, 3 saves. He's given up just 19 hits, walking 5, striking out 16 in his 26 2/3. 1-1 to Houston, misses. He misses. Nelson, last pitched at Texas last Wednesday, going 2/3, giving up 2 hits. That was the 2nd game of the series, a game that also was started by Sanderson and Ryan. Honeycutt Burns came on later. Eckersley pitched the last inning for his 18th save. So it has been a while for Jay Nelson, but the A's have been getting such great starting pitching throughout the weekend that Tony's been able to rest the bullpen. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jeff Houston, who was 1 for 2 with a single and a base on balls. And Willie Randolph will toss him out, and now he's 1 for 3. But frankly, this top of the 9th is nothing more than a formality. We are all waiting for the bottom of the 9th. And judging by the way Nolan was throwing in the 8th, Cat, he is a better than odds-on bet to get his 6th no-hitter tonight.
I would have to agree. I think if he's going to get hurt, it's going to be by a hanging breaking ball, because he's just rearing back now. He's picked up, seems like 3-4 miles an hour.
Nolan Ryan has 42 big league records. You look in the Ranger Media Guide, there are 16 pages of data about Ryan. To put that into perspective, the information about the Rangers team owners, front office, and manager total 11 pages. That's 18 people. He himself takes care of them. Ricky Henderson snags the fly by Pettis, 2 outs. I think Mike Gallego will bat, or will Tony pinch hit for him? He's already used up Lansford, but he has McGuire. He has Ken Phelps. That's it.
Probably
unless Canseco is called a cab out of the hospital to come over and take his hacks.
Babe Ruth is dead, so we know we're not going to see him.
You think he'll go with McGuire or somebody?
I think taking Phelps? A guess, it would be Phelps. I would guess.
Left-hand hitter?
Yeah.
Pitches outside. Well, if they do bring up Phelps, that'll set up a bit of deja vu. And he's holding not 1 but 2 bats. He's picking out the one he wants. It looks like he may hit. Yep, he's going for a helmet. Here's a fly ball. Palmeiro hits it pretty deep, but Ricky's on the track, and he makes the play. Ricky himself is scheduled. It is the number 9 hitter, Gallego, and Phelps is going to throw on a helmet. He's coming up. And then it'll be Ricky and Willie Randolph. Those 3 men are in the way of Nolan Ryan. That's the beauty of Nolan Ryan. You come to the ballpark tonight thinking, well, just another night at the office, Cat. But with him, you never know when you're going to take a piece of American lore home with you. And tonight may be the night. Ryan is getting himself extra limber.
But the great thing about it is nobody's saying a word to him. Did you see anybody say, good luck, Nolan? Anything like that? Nobody's talking to him.
And obviously the Coliseum would like to see Nolan do it. Either way, the respect and admiration is overwhelming for completely an American folklore. This man, at age 43, 4 months old, is a marvel. He has thrown 116 pitches, 75 strikes, 41 balls. Sandy Koufax threw 4, Cat. He has 5, looking for 6.
What a difference a week makes. He threw that many pitches in 5 innings the other night in Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. He threw 113 in 5 tedious innings, but tonight, his second game back. Ken Phelps will be the first man to try and break it up. It was a very first pitch that Brian Holman threw Phelps with 2 outs in the 9th that he slammed over the right field wall to break up a no-hitter. And a perfect game, not just a no-hitter, but perfection. Ryan has been nearly perfect. He has walked 2.
That's Brian Holman. That's not Nolan Ryan. Yeah. He's going to be a good pitcher, but I'll tell you what, we're talking a completely different fastball.
Well, either way, this 9th inning is going to be enjoyable. Nolan Ryan is 3 away. Ken Phelps did not hit against Ryan in Texas last weekend.
The fielders are probably more nervous than Nolan is because they don't want to be the one that does not make the play.
Why, Ken Phelps has got to be saying to himself, where am I? Am I in Oakland? I mean, the whole place explodes when he takes a strike. That'll never happen except for a scenario like this. Strike 1 pitch. Oh, man, he was late on that pitch. Nolan Ryan right now, I don't know how fast that one was, but man, that may be over 95. He was so far behind that ball, Cat, he had no chance.
That was some severe cheese right there.
Man.
When you look back and ask the umpire if that was a ball, and he says, oh, I don't know, it sounded high.
0-2, misses. Nolan has 13 strikeouts tonight, 5,155 in his career, but on that list, you will not find the name Ken Phelps. He has never struck out against Nolan Ryan. And he has seen him a number of times. He hit against him a number of years with the Mariners and the Yankees. Although Ryan has been tucked away in the National League for a few years with Houston up until last year. 1-2 pitch. Well, Ken Phelps, you're on the list. Ryan has struck out 5 of the last 6, 14 tonight.
Straight change. Look at them, they're nervous over there. Big reaction, strike 3.
Ricky popped to short, struck out, fly to center. It is up to Ricky and Willie Randolph. Strike 1. Whenever these two guys hang it up, they're going straight to Cooperstown. This is some scenario. Last pitch was 93 miles per hour. 0-1. Hits it in the air and fouls it back. You know, you're at the stage of this ball game now where if the name touches one of the pitches, you feel some sense of accomplishment. It really is remarkable what he has done the last few innings. He has gotten stronger and stronger. He was good at the start, but as he's cooking now, he has it all going his way. Ball is hit in the air, could be playable down the line. Palmeiro giving it all he's got, can't get it. It was Rafael Palmeiro who blew a Ron Kittle blooper in Nolan's one-hitter. He wanted to atone and get one here for him, but that was a long run. A lot of foul ground in Oakland. Count remains 0-2 on Ricky. Check swing. Houston better hurry. Throws. Got him. 2 outs. Willie Randolph stands in the way of Nolan Ryan and his 6th no-hitter. Boy, Jeff Houston made a heck of a play, didn't he, at shortstop? I mean, that could, one little hesitation, and Mark McGuire's coming out on deck. In case Randolph draws a walk, that would build the scenario some more, but one little hesitation by Houston, and Ricky has an infield single.
Well, again, he does not, no one wants to be the guy that causes him to no-no, and he had to get rid of it and made a real good play.
1 ball and no strikes. One of the few times tonight Ryan's been behind. And now he's behind 2-0. Willie Randolph struck out, hit one solidly to left field, one of the best hit balls of the night, and also fly to right. 2-0 pitch. Ball is hit in the air, may be playable. Ruben Sierra comes, and Ryan has a no-hitter. Number 6. Not only are his teammates mobbing him, but a number of fans have climbed over the wall to get to Ryan. He is the king, and they are lifting him and carrying him, paying homage to Nolan Ryan. I would say he is back from his back problems. I
think he feels pretty good right now.
Man. A slice of history brought to you tonight. 5-0 Rangers.